It's time for this week's Here's How. And this week, here's how to tongue kiss your dad. Start training in a martial art or boxing and take it really seriously. You're training to win and to make your dad proud. Then start helping out at local charities and help the local deprived kids get into fighting each other in a council building under your supervision. The aim of the game is an MBE or an OBE, whatever it is you can get your hands on. Even one of them ones that the people from ITV give you for helping communities, one of them will do. Then, on awards night, you take him along with you, and whilst on stage giving your acceptance speech, you invite him onto the stage and say, "It's all because of him. I couldn't have done this without the support and love of my father." And and all that kind of stuff. Drag him up on there and then just give him a kiss with tongues. What's he going to do? There's no way he's going to try and show you up in your big night in front of all the ladies from ITV. Get friendly with a local undertaker or a funeral director and fake your own death. Then arrange an open casket wake for yourself, and he's bound to come over to see you one last time. And you wait until he goes to kiss your forehead to say goodbye one last time. But as he approaches, you grab his cheeks and get your tongue in his mouth to sample the cucumber sandwiches that you've worked so hard on with Joan, the funeral director's wife. Sneak into his room whilst he's sleeping, wearing some of your late mother's perfume and clothes. Make sure you pad where needs padding and stroke his head like she used to in all the candid recordings you made of them in your teenage years. You'll want to do it in the dark of the night, so it might be best around Christmas time so you can really play on his loneliness and maybe prime him with a few festive films like that one where Scrooge McDuck gets visited by them three ghosts. Tell him you're doing a TikTok trend and it's something you have to do. Have a few different foods ready out on the worktop in the kitchen and a little camera set up, a couple different sized spoons too, and then blindfold him. Say that he's got to guess what it is he's tasting. Then you spoon feed him a couple bits to get him to let his guard down. Little bit of chocolate spread, little bit of chili jam, so he's not expecting that. It's a bit spicy. He knows these flavours. Oh, but what's that? It's your tongue. Make a novelty toilet roll out of plastic with that 3D printer you keep in the spare room that your sister used to sleep in when she still lived with you, and then layer about 4 sheets of toilet roll around that new plastic cylinder and hide it in the toilet when you think he's about to, pop in for his daily visit. Then, when he starts shouting at you, "Where's the fucking toilet roll?" through the bathroom door, you say, "Here you go, Dad, but you've got to give us a kiss, otherwise you're going to have a crusty arse until you have your shower, and you'll never find them towels without my help neither." Every time you're out in public with him and you use a lift, walk out wiping your mouth like you've just kissed someone with a really wet mouth, pointing at him to the next lift riders, saying, "My dad's a great kisser," and walk out the lift. This leaves him annoyed and embarrassed because it looks like you've just kissed, and then after a few months of doing this, when exiting any, like service station toilets, shopping centre lifts, he's going to threaten to kiss you for real, like when he caught you smoking and he made you smoke 66 so that you'd learn your lesson. It's 6:30 in the morning. You've just finished unloading your car and you've displayed all of your dead uncle's collectibles onto the paste table. Now you've got another 15 minutes until the punters are allowed out of their cars to start buying. You can just suggest you're feeling a bit anxious about the morning and that you could practice kissing with each other whilst you wait for the gates to open. Pretend to break up with your wife and temporarily move back in with your parents. Do everything you can to make it difficult to live with you. TV at insane volumes, either far too loud when you're on your own watching it or really quiet when you've got the gun and you're all sat in the living room watching it together. Leave the fridge door open all the time. Rearrange the kitchen cupboards every 10 days. Start writing loads and loads of poems about your wife, your kids' friends from school, and start reading them, reciting them almost to your elderly parents. Really start to hone your poetry craft on what makes them the most visibly distressed. Probably focus more on your children's friends as the subject of your poem. Replace all the bulbs in the house with those really harsh bluish lights. Add a clapper function to the lights in the bedrooms, but have the sensor dangerously close to the bed so that whenever you're masturbating or your aging parents make love, the slapping sounds of your forearm on your belly or your mum's apron on your dad's stomach make the lights flash on and off throughout the house. Start to collect a sizable item. Vinyl records, boxed shoes, cacti, whatever it is that's going to take up as much space as possible. Eventually, your parents are going to confront you and ask, what will it take to make you leave? And you can look them dead in their eyes and say, a passionate tongue kissing from you. Obviously, pointing at your dad. Start telling him that you really miss your wife and she wants to get back together and you miss your kids and all you need is to rub your tongue on your father's and it's all just going to go back to normal like it used to be. Get one of them dental dams and start wearing it over your mouth like Mylena and flaunt it in front of your dad and just flat out say, well, with one of these we can tongue kiss and not actually touch. See what he says. Judge his reaction. If he gets angry, maybe he was already thinking it. He's annoyed at you for reading his mind. So give it a couple of weeks and, just play it by ear. Spend a load of your wages on a road trip for yourself and your dad, but invest in a big lorry that'll also follow you around the country with a simulated cliff edge inside it. A device in there that's going to make your car wobble back and forth whilst the inside of the lorry's decorated with TV screens that help emulate a cliffside with sounds and wind effects. Then you wait until you've learnt how deep of a sleeper your dad is in the car, and when you give him the signal, the lorry, to pull over, manoeuvre the car into the back of the lorry with your sleeping dad in the passenger seat and trigger the moving floor to make the car wobble back and forth as if it's teetering over a cliff edge. Then start screaming about how I've never kissed someone. And then when your dad doesn't take the bait, have the lorry operator ready to tip the car a little bit further forwards to really up that tension in the car. Start proper screaming it. I've never kissed anyone. It's all been a lie. All of it. Oh, I can't die without being kissed. And then just stare at him and lean in, making the car tip further forwards. Who knows, he might go for it. Either way, at some point, you're going to have to own up to the whole thing being a prank of some sort, but that's your problem, not mine. And that's the end of this week's Here's How.